Okay, let's dive right into this explainer on how to navigate toxic workplace backbiting without losing your cool or, your professional reputation. We've all been there, right? Or at least we know someone who has. You're doing your job, you're hitting your goals, and then suddenly, boom, you hear a rumor about yourself that completely blindsides you. It's frustrating, it's incredibly distracting, and honestly, it just feels so unfair. So today, we're going to look at exactly how to handle this, using a series of real-world scenarios. So picture this. A coworker attacks your reputation. What's your very first instinct? It's totally natural to want to just yell, defend yourself, and clear your name on the spot, right? Your fight or flight response just completely kicks in. You literally want to march right up to them and demand an explanation. But what if the most powerful reaction is actually no angry reaction at all? I mean, think about it. What if fighting back on their terms is exactly what gives their gossip its power? And that brings us to this idea, which brilliantly illustrates our core focus today. When someone is angry and backbiting, the goal is usually not to win the argument, but to protect your reputation, reduce conflict, and let their behavior speak for itself. You're not trying to win a shouting match in the break room. We're playing a much longer and much more important game here. To show you exactly how this works, we've got 5 distinct workplace case studies lined up. We'll cover the office gossip trap, handling public visibility tests, restoring trust in leadership, the undeniable power of evidence, and finally, we'll wrap up with an anti-gossip blueprint you can actually use. Starting off with Section 1, the office gossip trap. Let's look at our first scenario. We're in a call center chat process with 2 coworkers. You've got Neha, who is highly professional and consistently gets great client appreciation, and Sneha, who sees this success and gets, extremely jealous. But instead of talking to Neha directly, Sneha starts spreading a nasty rumor. Neha only gets good ratings because she copies replies. Soon enough, teammates actually begin to wonder if it's true. This leaves Neha feeling hurt, anxious, and deeply worried that her hard-earned reputation is being trashed by someone sitting right next to her. Now, when you're facing something like this, you really have 2 starkly different paths. The wrong reaction? Neha logs into the team chat and blasts out, "Sneha is a liar, stop spreading fake stories." If she does that, literally everyone is suddenly watching the drama unfold instead of doing their jobs. The gossip actually grows. The smart reaction, and this is what Neha actually does, is she stays calm, keeps delivering quality work, and quietly takes screenshots of her performance. When a trusted colleague asks about it, she just smoothly says she prefers her work to speak for itself. Here's where it gets brilliant. By using this kind of reverse psychology and not reacting with anger, Neha completely flips the script. People totally expect an angry, defensive reaction when someone is accused of something. So when Neha doesn't give them that, Sneha loses the spotlight. Teammates start to notice and think, wait a minute, if Neha were really guilty, why is she so calm and transparent? And just like that, it's Sneha's credibility that starts taking a nosedive. So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that a rumor simply cannot survive if you refuse to be its audience. Your reputation is grown through your daily consistency, not by winning some petty argument in a chat room. By starving the rumor of emotional oxygen, Neha successfully protected her brand. Moving right along to Section 2, handling public visibility tests. Okay, things escalate a bit here. Now we're in a voice process call center, which means the work is much more visible. Neha is doing great, regularly pulling in super high customer satisfaction scores. But Sneha strikes again, dropping a much heavier accusation to their coworkers. She manipulates customers. Because of this, agents actually stop trusting Neha, and this takes a very real emotional toll on her, to the point where she's crying after her shift. The impact of this kind of workplace toxicity? Yeah, it is very real. Once again, we've got a choice to make. Confronting the gossip on the floor, like literally yelling at Sneha in front of everyone, creates a massive headache for management. Now the poor manager has 2 disruptive employees to deal with, but Neha chooses the smart reaction. She documents her call quality scores and politely asks her manager for a formal review of her recorded calls, citing that she's heard comments affecting her reputation. She forces the actual truth out into the open through official channels. The manager reviews the recordings and surprise, surprise, the evidence fully supports Neha. People on the floor quickly realize that someone who actively asks for an evidence-based review usually isn't afraid of the truth. Sneha is left having to back up her baseless claims, which of course she can't do. It just goes to show, facts defeat gossip far better and way more permanently than anger ever could. Section 3, Restoring Trust and Leadership. So the stakes are getting even higher now because the attacks are directly targeting Neha's core integrity and her career growth. Now working in HR, Sneha secretly starts telling employees, don't trust Neha. She shares confidential information. I mean, that is a terrifying rumor to face when you work in human resources. Employees get fearful and start avoiding Neha. And to make matters worse, when Neha gets promoted to team leader, Sneha claims it's just because Neha is close to management. Now people are doubting her hard-earned promotion too. Neha's playbook here is pure gold. Her reactions are purely behavior-based and incredibly strategic. First, she continues her strict compliance with confidentiality. She never discusses employee info casually, ever. Second, she politely tells her manager about the rumors and actually invites an official HR audit of her work. Third, she refuses to argue about her promotion. And fourth, she zeroes in entirely on helping her new team succeed and supporting struggling members. Her willingness to literally be audited brings trust back almost immediately. The audit comes back squeaky clean. The team realizes, hey, a person with something to hide wouldn't invite an audit in the first place. And as for that nepotism rumor, her team's improved performance under her guidance quietly and completely destroys it. The better she performs, the weaker the gossip gets. And this just brilliantly illustrates how success quietly and thoroughly answers all accusations. Professional integrity isn't just destroyed by a single rumor, as long as you have that solid foundation of consistent behavior. Leadership isn't just some title you defend, it's something you earn daily through your actions and how you support others. Okay, Section 4, The Power of Evidence. Our final, most high-stakes scenario takes place in IT operations during a major server crash. And you know, when systems go down, tensions are at an absolute peak, and people get desperate to point fingers. Look at this timeline. At minute 1, the server fails. By minute 5, with zero investigation, Sneha immediately and publicly blames Neha for making a mistake. Neha is, understandably, terrified for her career. But instead of snapping back, she spends hour 1 calmly gathering system logs, support tickets, and exact timelines. By hour 2, she joins the incident review, drops the raw data on the table, and the review clearly shows the issue came from an entirely different external system. Notice what didn't happen. Neha never even had to blame Sneha back. By simply presenting the raw facts, she made everyone in that room realize that the loudest accusation definitely wasn't the correct one. Now, Sneha's toxic habit of blaming others is glaringly obvious to management. The lesson here is undeniable. Documentation is always, always stronger than assumptions. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, the Anti-Gossip Blueprint. We've seen how to handle these attacks across a bunch of different departments now, from chat support all the way up to IT ops. And this framework perfectly maps out how to think about workplace conflict. In every single case, whether the toxic weapon used against Neha was jealousy, character assassination, or outright blame, her professional shield was always exactly the same: objective evidence. We're talking screenshots, recorded calls, official audits, and system logs. That calm transparency completely neutralized the emotional attacks every single time. So here is your tactical takeaway from this explainer when you're dealing with a toxic coworker. Number 1, do not react publicly in anger. Number 2, stay relentlessly professional. Number 3, keep meticulous records and evidence. Number 4, let your day-to-day work build your credibility. And number 5, if it actually starts affecting your work, escalate it through the proper channels using facts, not feelings. Ultimately, remember this. Gossip might get attention quickly, but it's your consistent integrity that earns lasting trust. The goal is never to win a shouting match with a coworker. It's to outclass them through your professionalism. Your behavior speaks for itself, so leave them with absolutely nothing to say. Who is your behavior speaking for today? Keep that thought in your back pocket the next time you face friction at work. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, keep that documentation